Point of order. Mr. President, point of order. Mr. President, point of order.
A session at the Senate over a motion to step down the confirmation hearing of ministerial nominee Festus Keyamo. The former Minister of State later tendered an unreserved apology to lawmakers and was screened after senators returned from a closed-door session. We have update on that development in the course of the show. It's day 70 of President Bola Tinubu's administration, and we're monitoring events and developments in his first 100 days. Thanks for joining us on the program. You can join the conversation right now on Twitter using the hashtag first 100 days. Remember to tag at TVC News NG and at Nifemi Okuntoye. So Senator representing Abia Central, Darlington Nwokocha, on Monday during the ministerial screening accused Mr. Keyamo of disrespecting the 9th National Assembly and accusing the last assembly of being corrupt, saying the employment scheme of 774,000 Nigerians during a service as Minister of State wasn't satisfactory to the 9th Senate. Mr. Keyamo was Minister of Labor and Employment in the former administration, and he had accused the lawmakers of attempts to blackmail him. And Senator representing Abia South, Eyinaya Abaribe, also seconded that motion, saying that it's important that the step down the former minister's screening until these issues are resolved. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, then put the motion to a voice vote, and as a rowdy session ensued, the Senate dissolved into executive session. Festus Keyamo was the last ministerial nominee of President Bola Tinubu's 48-member list to appear before the Senate.
Therefore, Mr. President of the Senate, I'm of the opinion that we hold this down a little bit, and I move a motion that we suspend forthwith this nomination and wait until when this is clear, so that he can freely work in our environment and tell Nigerians, I have perfectly done well because this record has been put straight. That is my submission, Mr. Senate President. I rest my case. That I do support that this nominee should be stepped down pending when he decides that the National Assembly has that right to inquire into the workings of a minister and his ministry. I so second.
Festus Keyamo has now tendered an unreserved apology to the senators, and it has been screened.
We insisted on BVN. Every detail is available at the National Director of Employment. Anybody can go there and ask for a copy. We have it in a flash and confirm every single one with a BVN number. They are all there for complete transparency. Till today, we did not see one cover of that. I needed to make that clarification. And like I said, I'm sorry for that misunderstanding.
Earlier on Saturday, ministerial nominee Bosun Tijani apologized to the Senate, explaining the reason behind his controversial tweets. Mr. Bosun had in an old post tweeted that he didn't appreciate the Nigerian passport and Nigeria as a nation.
Distinguished senators, I was raised properly as a Yoruba boy, both in Agege and Abeokuta, so I do understand that we're not meant to disrespect our elders, and that's not the training that we're given. My father probably won't be proud of me for all these allegations, but one thing he'll be proud of as well is that the passion that led me to those mistakes has also given me the opportunity to contribute to the development of this country. So I want to profusely apologize to everyone in this hall, including anyone anywhere in Nigeria that may have been offended about everything I said. I ask that you please, in the process of accepting my apology, that you look at the undertone of everything I've said. I didn't say it to spite. I said it out of frustration and love. So please accept my sincere apologies, please.
So it's a long list of apologies on the floor of the Senate, but we'll return to that shortly. Let's bring you some updates on the Niger coup. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, who's also chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, has convened yet another extraordinary summit of the authority on the political situation in the Republic of Niger. The summit will hold in Abuja on Thursday, 10th of August. The ECOWAS leaders will be considering and discussing the political situation and recent developments in the Niger Republic. And this is coming after the expiration of the one-week ultimatum issued by the regional bloc to the military coup leaders in Niger to relinquish power and restore constitutional order. ECOWAS also slapped sanctions on the landlocked West African country, which includes a no-fly zone, cutting electricity supply, and freezing the assets of the coup leaders in the region. One of the resolutions reached also includes an option of the use of force if the coup leaders defy the sanctions and hang on to power. But pressure have been mounting on President Tinubu from several quarters to jettison the military option of use of force and continue to explore all diplomatic and political means to resolve the standoff. State House correspondent Femi Akonde joins me live for more on this development. Femi, it's becoming more difficult by the day to explore the military action alternative on ECOWAS's list of resolutions with what seems a growing opposition against it both here in Nigeria and abroad. ECOWAS and President Tinubu will now have to, perhaps rescind their initial plan or choose to stand by it at the extraordinary meeting on Thursday, right? We'll get back to Femi in the course of this show as we explore more about ECOWAS's intervention in Niger, particularly now that the one-week ultimatum given to the junta to restore political, or rather democratic authorities has now expired. All eyes will be on Mr. President, who is now ECOWAS chair, as to whether or not he will make that very controversial decision of a military action in Niger. Femi is back with us. Femi, it seems a very big decision for ECOWAS to make, and now they'll have to make that decision on Thursday, right?
Yes, listen, it's hard what ECOWAS next line of action will be mutual cooperation and coexistence of these African countries.
We'll get back to Femi when we can hear him very clearly. Let's take a break and then we'll return to happenings on the floor of the Senate.